Can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh,
Oh, Tudor is here. Hi, how are you doing?
not too bad. Who have we got? Tio and Gus.
Yeah. Hola, Gastón. So, are you enjoying the release date till now? Oh, I think you have kind of the connection is kind of shaky. Um,
I'm on Wi-Fi, so it should be good.
okay. So yeah. Hello, everybody. We're today here together to talk a little bit about the new released song of Xavathan and me, Falkenflug. And I think many of you have already watched it or listened to it. So, hi, Victoria. I hope you have liked it. And yeah, I just thought it would be nice for us to share a little bit about how we got here.
Do you want to start, or shall I?
Yeah, no, you can start.
Okay, cool. So basically, what it was is I saw a lot of posts from Regalia, and just the way she plays the harp and her really beautiful voice. That really took me by surprise when I first heard that. So basically, I sent her a message and said, "Hey, I really like what you do. Would you like to do a collaboration with me?" And she said yes. So then we began to talk about it, and in a matter of, I think, 2 days, we already had the foundations for the track already written. Now, as some of you music people will know, it's in a 3/4 waltz, and I wanted to do something that was kind of very medieval, very Celtic, because I really love the whole Celtic type of theme, and obviously that was right up her street as well. So I sent her what my vision was for a course, and then she began working and sending me vocals and stuff like that, and very very quickly it became a really really good track, and it just things started to fall into place very very quickly. And she began adding more vocals. She chose this poem, which was like from the 1100s, which really, really fit the track perfectly. And I began exploring the theme further by adding, the guitars and, the piano and stuff like that. And, I got her to add her harp, which was fantastic. And you're probably wondering why there's two versions. Well, that wasn't originally going to be that way,
No, that
but
wasn't the
and considering how well the original heavy metal track turned out, I thought, why don't I explore this more as an actual classical theme? Being that I'm, classically trained and stuff like that, I thought, let me explore this a bit more. So I imported her vocals and began to explore the classical themes. So I started by adding some cellos and some contrabass and stuff like that, and then she started adding all these really amazing choir voices, which just sound, incredible.
That's so nice.
Let me know what else you want me to say, but obviously, feel free to to join in and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that was really great. I wasn't expecting it to be another version. So actually, was what I was sending you was just ideas how we could make it more complete, because we had talked about it. You had said you had this vision of it being kind of Enyic and with
Yeah, yeah,
lots
yeah.
of harmonics and choirs. So just listening to it, listening to the main melody, I started, just getting into the feeling of the song, and then I thought that this could be nice and this could be nice, and then also you just said, I think there will be like two versions, because I think even though it wasn't planned, when we started talking, everything was in it already. So everything it was at the end was something. Sorry, I wanted to read. Both versions are great. I love that you made the classical version too. Yeah, I think it's really cool that we made you made it mainly because I think I just sent you the vocals, but
let's not forget that you had a massive part to play in this. Basically, all I did in terms of the theme is that the chorus. The chorus melody was the theme that I came up with, but she explored the melody for the verse, which I hadn't really thought of. And because I'm not much of a vocalist, that's not my forte. And I knew instrumentally and structure-wise where the track was going, but I didn't know what to do as melody for the verse. And she did it really, really quick. I mean, as I say, we finished this in about 10 days, and consider the fact that. This is written by two people who have never met, across the internet. Is pretty crazy. And, our wish for this track is that, that you guys will all be touched, by this, and that it will also, influence you and captivate you to explore your own compositions and themes as well,
Yeah, well, maybe or just enjoy it. I think what's very nice about these songs is they have a really different feel. So I'm glad there's two versions, because one is very powerful. The metal is very very powerful, and the other one, I feel like you can really submerge yourself in it, like go somewhere else. So I'm also glad we did the video.
That really floored me.
Sorry, I really want to answer the question because it's important. Hello, where can I find this song? So,
yes.
The song you can find actually almost on every major platform. We suggest you try Spotify. I can tell you, either you can maybe send me a message afterwards, or you can just watch in my bio. There's this link tree where every link is. So whichever platform you normally use, you can listen to it there. Either if it's Deezer or Spotify or Amazon or YouTube Music, you have the links to go there to both versions of the song. So I think that would be the easiest way to go. And we have a little bit of a plea, or if you listen to it and in Spotify or anything, it would be awesome if you could give it a like, and also to add it in some kind of playlist, because that would help us so much. So if you like the song and if you listen to our song, then please be so kind to don't forget to give it a like and to maybe add it to some playlist of yours, so maybe we can get to another bigger playlist and lots of people can listen to it. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really fantastic. And also, if you guys want to ask me any questions relating to
question for you from Craig. Can you see it then?
Oh yes, I can see that. So those are virtual instruments. So basically, I use PreSonus 5 Pro, and basically I use my MIDI keyboard, which is behind me, which is a Nectar LX88. So it's an 88 key full-size MIDI controller keyboard. And what I did was I selected one of the PreSonus virtual instruments, basically played along to the track. So normally composers would do everything in MIDI or notation, but I find it much more beneficial to just play it live and obviously just do all the quantizing and everything afterwards. So yes, those are VSTs, and it doesn't sound like they are VSTs. So that's something that I'm very happy about. With the classical theme, I really wanted to go for like a Skyrim, because I'm mad on Skyrim and Jeremy Soule and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to do something that was kind of like that, and the the cellos and the contrabass and the violins really accent that free for that I had to be very, very careful that I didn't do too much in that kind of thing, because I didn't want to it just sounds so much like Skyrim, you know. I didn't want to do something completely different, but just purely accent the 3/4 you know, time machine shell. I love that you play. Yes. The reason why is because when you are using MIDI, you lose a lot of that human touch and emotion, and everything just becomes robotic, and there's no dynamics in anything. So, and with the classical track, I had an idea to cut out in the middle of the section. You hear it where it's just her, the drums, and this whole vocal layering. Originally, I had all the instrumentation going throughout the entire track, and I thought, hang about. We want to have some kind of dynamics and stuff like that. So basically, I cut out everything and just had it playing just with her vocals and that, and it sounded, you know, epic. And then this is when she started adding loads and loads of choir, you know, to the track, and sounded, you know, really, really fantastic. So definitely can say to you guys that if you're, you know, doing classical music and you're doing instrumentation, if you can, play it live so that you can really play it the way you want to play, because no amount of quantization or anything like that will ever take the place of that human hand. So
yeah, that's very true. I want to see if there's more questions.
I have a love-hate relationship with MIDI. Yes, tell me about it, especially when it doesn't quantize the way you want it to. And if you're working with, you know, 3/4 or 7/8 or some weird time signatures, and you try to quantize it, and it just puts it right out of time or rhythmically changes it, and you're thinking, what the hell just happened there? And it's just like, oh, it's so annoying. So sometimes you have to not even quantize it and just play it in time as much as possible, which is why latency is so important. You have to make sure that you get a very good sound card that has very, very low latency that enables you to do that. And in terms of, you know, production, I do all my own mixing and stuff like that. So just a bit of background on me. So I went to music college straight after my year 12 here in London. I got a distinction in popular music and majors in jazz improvisation and such. And then when I went over to Australia, I joined 2 orchestras there as a violinist, and you know, that's where I can learn more of the classical themes and stuff like that. But what I'm blessed to have is something which is called perfect pitch, which means that I can, you know, listen to anything and be able to know what notes are being played, what chords are being played, and that really helps, you know, the composition aspects and stuff. So if you guys want to know what plugins I use, what mastering I use, let me know in the comments, and I will definitely share that with you guys.
I also saw, I'm not sure if he's still there, I saw Alan just came in. If you're still there, you can say peep. And that's great because he was the one that made the video and everything. So that was so awesome. It was really such big luck for me to have him to do this, because otherwise I would have no clue how to make it in a way that really makes the song justice, because I feel it has such an epic vibe to it that it would have been a shame to do it just with my camera. And yeah, so I'm very, very happy we were able to do that. And it was a very spontaneous thing also. It was like I asked him on a Saturday morning if he could maybe think about if he would have time, and he just said, yeah, why don't you come over, and I'm at my parents and we will just shoot it here. And the great thing was that exactly there is where this cool castle is that you can see on the video. And I told someone today that actually the castle has a great meaning for me, because it's a place where I've been for the last 15, 16, 17 years maybe, every year once, because there's this Renaissance fair that takes place there. It's a pretty big one, and for as long as I can remember, I've been there. So it was awesome for me to do it, to be able to do it there. So it was a bit sad, of course, that because of the internationality of the project, that we weren't able to do the shooting together. So that would have been nice, but yeah, the camera was here, so we just had to do it like this, I think.
And I was really blown away. I mean, I wasn't when she said that she was going to shoot a music video, you know, in a castle and that. I was not expecting what I got sent, and I was like, "Whoa, what the hell?" You know, it was just like some, you know, I don't know what camera you used, Alan, but you know, you've got an amazing sense of cinematography, and you know, depth of field, and you know, you're very good at telling the story, and that camera you've got is amazing. You know, it looks as if you've used a professional cinematography camera like you would use for like movies and things. So, and just the way it was edited and stuff like that, I was just blown away. I was like, man, this is incredible, you know. And
well, it's of course it's also his job. So he is absolutely professional. So and he has
wow.
quite good stuff too. But yeah, he has great eye too. I think he did an amazing job also in the editing. I think it also blew me away. It was like, this is so good. This is so good. What the hell? This is so good. Yeah.
What else have we got here? Yeah, it's very difficult to choose which version, you know, like the best. I mean, sometimes I think I like the classical version the best. Sometimes I think I like the metal version the best. I mean, I am at my core a heavy metal musician, you know, with classical training and that. So, as you know, a lot of heavy metal music has very strong medieval, classical, Celtic themes in them.
Absolutely,
and so it's very, very easy to create a minimalistic, you know, and make the crossover to classical because of that. I mean, if I'd have done it in 4/4, maybe it wouldn't have worked out so well, but I really wanted to keep that, you know, 3/4 going. And, you know, it's just this waltz, you know, as I say. So, hey, how you going, Andy? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Andy is as a friend of mine from in the US, so it's good that you're here, mate. And look forward to getting that bass line from you as well. Like, thing is with me is I work with many people around the world. So I've been doing music for 28 years, and I've worked with people from USA, from Ireland, from Persia, you know, all over the place. And, you know, music is just, you know, it's a really fantastic thing. You know, it's great to be able to use it as a tool to bring people together, and collaborating with other musicians is extremely rewarding, because not only does it help you as a musician, it helps you, I guess it opens up your ears to other possibilities that wouldn't have been there otherwise, right? So we're always learning as composers, musicians, and stuff like that, and we can never say that we know everything. It's constantly learning and assimilating information. So, you know, this would not have been possible had she not been involved. It would have been something completely different. You know, she added her own flavour to it, which comes across very, very strongly. And, you know, it's now become this, even the heavy metal tracks, you know, as heavy as it is, it still has that majestic, you know, feel to it. And the fact that it has harp in it, I don't think that's been done in a heavy metal track before. So, you know, maybe it has, I don't know, but
sure, but
just
yeah,
adds...
it's rare. It's rare.
Something in Spanish there.
Yeah. There's the question: where is the place where the video? I think it's about the video where I'm playing the harp. It's just one place. So I will say it in English and then in Spanish maybe. So it's just one place, the castle in Freinfels. I think. Oh, I'm not sure if I put it in the video. I have to check that, but I will put it in the video I posted beforehand, and it's here. It's near where I live. It's just an hour away, and it's quite beautiful. Es Castillo Frauenfels, que es acá a una hora de donde vivo. Y es en donde que pasé muchos años siempre ahí porque hay siempre unas ferias medievales, así que me significó mucho también hacerlo ahí porque tengo muchas memorias con eso. So, yeah.
How many languages do you speak? I had no idea you spoke another language as well.
Yeah, well, mainly just German, Spanish, and English, but
Wow, that's still 3 languages.
Yeah.
I can probably do German. How many people from Germany have we got here? So I can
I don't know.
German.
I think some. There's also some that aren't German, but they speak German, which is quite cool too. I know. I think if Irina is still watching, she is multilingual as well. She's very good.
Wow.
Yeah, quite impressive as well. And well, of course, Alan is German, and I don't know if there's more. But yeah, so. But actually, I'm not sure. I think there are more people I know here from Argentina than from Germany, which is weird. But
ich bin auf Kanada. Sehr gut. Aber ich lerne Deutsch in der Schule gelernt. Für 4 Jahre habe ich es nicht so oft. Aber ich lerne Deutsch in der Schule gelernt. Musik ist meine Lieblingsfächer. Meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut. But I love the language very much. And
yeah, I think that. So the reason that we chose a German poem was also that that I thought you were also drawn to the language, so it would be
very
nice.
much so, very much so. And it's also nice hearing it sung in the old German, which is something that I've never heard sung before. Again, that's very authentic, and I think this would very well fit a niche, or more than a niche market, because we've got the heavy metal version, and we've got the classical version, and it can also be, a learning point for some people as well. And just the sheer scope of the classical, it could be used in films, video games, you name it, So this is why the reach is so important, and why it's so important for you guys to, to like the track if you can, and just try and share it, because the way the algorithm works on Spotify is it picks up on spikes, and it picks up on how many people are, liking and sharing and things. And once it's got all that information, then it will start sharing it out to larger pools of people. And if we can get on something like Discover Weekly and stuff like that, and then we can get 20, 30, 40,000, streams and that, which will be fantastic. And then from there, it could go up even higher and higher. So, that's that's our hope. And the main thing is that you guys enjoy the music, because, that's why we as musicians exist, is to connect with our listeners, and even if there's only a few people that really like and connect with the music, well, then that's fantastic. I have to have a beer later on as well. I've actually bought some beer to eat. I
was thinking we have to drink together. We're celebrating here, so I took my wine with me.
I was going to go downstairs.
That's a good idea. But I just tagged the next question we have. I'm so excited. We have so many questions. That's so awesome. So bring them on. The next question is, how did you begin the collaboration, or meet to begin the collaboration? So that was funny, because it was through the internet, but it wasn't through Instagram, but actually through TikTok, because I think just like 3 months ago or something wonderful. 3 months ago, I joined TikTok as well, and then very quickly I found Tavathan and his music, and we just started following each other and listening to each other's music, and then I also, of course, commented on the things that he was doing, and I liked them. And then he just wrote to me about maybe doing something together. And at first it started small from the conversation, but it got bigger and bigger, really, really quickly. So it was, I think we started talking, and the same day it was like, okay, we're doing it together. And at the end of the day, we had already kind of a structure of the song, so that went off really quickly. Yeah. Did I have I told it correctly? So
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the thing is, as I say, because of the type of talent that she has, she really fit the track and the theme perfectly, and just the harp and all the vocals and everything. It's just it's so touching, it's so enchanting. It's we've really created something beautiful together, and really hope that you guys feel that as well. As I say, if you guys want to ask any other questions, please keep them coming.
yeah.
I'll ask as many as possible. It's difficult to keep track of what's going on here.
I have been also really blown away with what you did with the track, because I think it got absolutely awesome. I feel it was getting better and better each time that we talked, and you were also working so fast. I was like, wow, this is coming more and more together, like really, really quickly. So it was really, really awesome.
I couldn't put it down, and the way I work when I compose, especially with heavy metal, is basically I always work from the guitars. So I set up a click track, and then I do the guitars. If you are doing heavy metal, I highly recommend that you do in quad track. So what do I mean by that is you basically record the same rhythm guitar part 4 times, and you pan it hard left and hard right in your mix, right? So then you've got 4 tracks, both panned hard left, hard right, and the same with the other one. So what it does is it really creates that huge depth. But the trick is you have to play them identically so that they don't sound, off balance and stuff like that. And then obviously it's all to do with compression, EQ, limiting, and all that kind of stuff. And I have a very unique way of mixing, and the way I compose. Like I like to have things where there's a lot of stuff going on, purely because I want to appeal for film and stuff. So that has been ever since an early age, I was creating pieces that had 20, 30 tracks on and stuff like that, purely because I love creating soundscapes. As I say, if you listen to all these classical masterpieces that have been created over the time, there's just so much going on. If you talk about Bach, we talk about his counter melodies and canons and everything, melodies on top of melodies, and that it's really, really amazing. And what else? Play everything live. Even your guitars, don't rely on anything artificial whatsoever. And with mastering, I use something called T-Rex, IK Multimedia, and they're very expensive plugins, but they're very good for mastering and stuff like that. And as I say, my DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation, for those that asks, is PreSonus 5 Pro, which is my chosen recording software. I've used Pro Tools and Cubase and that, but I found that PreSonus is more streamlined and you can work very, very quickly within that UI.
We also have, I'm sorry to interrupt you, babe, we also have a question that's, first of all, for you, and then also kind of for us together. How long did it take to compose? Where did the ideas that they already had, or was it more spontaneous? So, yeah.
Okay, so basically the way it came about is the guitar that I use, which is unfortunately in repair at the moment, was tuned in A standard. Because before that I was experimenting with very low tunings and stuff like that. So I put a set of Ernie Ball 58 to 14 gauge strings on, and I tuned my guitar down to A standard, which is probably the lowest, on a 6-string guitar. And I love the tuning so much that I began experimenting with a medieval theme. And so I came up with something, and then I had that da da dee da 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 da, and I had that going around in my head when I was in the shower, actually. And I'm thinking, this sounds pretty good. This sounds pretty good. So then, when I started talking to her, I then sent her that melody line and then a rough guitar part, and the next thing we know, it's happening. And I don't know how long it took to complete. the first track, I don't even know. It took longer to mix and get right. As you know, post-production always takes a long time. The actual bare bones of the track was created very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah, I think so too. I think you sent me that, and then I started to try that. I then after I heard what you had sent, I was thinking, and I searched for a poem, and I found this poem. Then that was my cat. I then sent to you, and then I thought about what would be the chorus then if we use this poem, because of course the poem didn't have a chorus. It was just one structure. Then of course we need to think, okay, what is the main theme of it? And I really liked that, watching the birds and envying the birds theme. So I thought that should be in the middle. And then I think 1 or 2 days after I sent you something for the verse, and you were okay with it. Those are my favorite stories. Thank you for explaining how you composed it. Those were my favorite types of stories. That's so nice.
Had it, or was it more spontaneous? Also, most of the time, with everything that I've written over the past, don't know how many decades I've been doing this, is all improv. So this means 9 times out of 10, everything that I write and compose is spontaneous, because that's how I've always worked. You know, I don't read notation, well, not anymore. I forced myself to read notation when I was in the orchestra, but it's not something that I excelled at, and I always found that notation was something that was holding me back musically. So I just used my ear, and you know, doing things on the spot is how I've always done it, and that's how the best stuff happens. You know, just have a melody come to your head, and this melody won't go away. So then you have to open my recording equipment, let's get down the basics, you know. And you find that if the melody is already in place, then everything else falls into place. So you've got that da da dee da 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 bum da dum dum da dum da 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 dum, and you have all these melodies that can go off that, because you've got such a strong pulse.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and also I kind of forgot, but I wanted to mention that we for the metal version, we did want something like we wanted a drummer to play it also, not if not to do it all by virtual instruments. That would have been an option, but we did try to do it otherwise. And then a friend of mine who is not here, and yeah, so I can't tag him or anything, but a friend of mine who wants to be only called Jackie, but yeah, he's a great instrumentalist as well, actually. So I hope in the future he will maybe help us out again, because he's just really very helpful, and he was like, do this, and he was like, yeah, sure, and a few days later he sent it, and it was all fine. So that was pretty cool also to have him. But I think that the epic version, what you did there, was also pretty nice. I think very very atmospheric with the drums as well. I think it gives them a great atmosphere.
I mean, the only thing that I was a little bit sad about, you know, compositional wise, was that I didn't have access to any kettle drums or timpani or those really huge Nordic drums and that. I think that would have been excellent, but you know I just
No, sorry. I was just thinking that we both actually know someone in TikTok who could have helped us out, but I was a little bit too reserved to suggest it, because I didn't know him that long. But then I found out that he also follows you, Matnik or something, I think is its name. So he has all kinds of drums. So maybe next time we could have.
What else? What else do you guys want to know?
Yeah, if you want to know something else, I don't know if we have already took too much of your time, perhaps, but I think you got the main vibe of how it came along, and we really hope. I would be very curious if I will maybe post a story later to ask you, because I'm very curious to hear. I have been getting very interesting feedback of different people liking the one or the other better. So it's not a consensus. It's very interesting. So many people are very passionate and say, oh, they like the metal version much better, and the other person, no, I like the epic version much better. So I find that so interesting, and I love that actually, because I think then you can really see that they're both really, really good. But just that they appeal to just a little bit of another type of person, and I think that's awesome. So that makes me extra happy that we did two versions of it, because
someone else has just joined, Phil Dengaro, and Merchant of History.
Yeah, he joined us before. So I would be very curious if you could just also tell us which version you liked. Actually, I find it very fascinating.
How do you explain a Mozart? What do you mean in terms of his compositional method, or how do you explain?
How do you explain a genius? That's very tough.
So Mozart, as you know, started from 12, right? So, and probably at a time
already composed. So I think he started very, very young.
You know, and at a time when probably, they would have the fathers probably would have wanted their sons or daughters to practice from dawn till dusk. I mean, that's definitely what Paganini did. Not many people know that Paganini actually used to practice with a knife sellotaped to his elbow so that he would keep that bowing rhythm going, and that's something that his father, did. And but with all those composers, they were gifted, right? And my belief is that, the gift comes from somewhere that we cannot comprehend. You know what I mean? Everyone has their views on that. But me personally, I definitely am thankful that I have this gift. I don't know where I would be if I did not have the ability to compose and to get out my emotions, because, like I said before, music is a communication tool. It's a way of, and if you listen very, very carefully to Mozart and Beethoven, Bach, all these types of people, you can really feel what they were going through at that exact moment that they wrote it, And music is so deep. It's such a personal form of communication, which is why when we release something, it's almost like, you're holding your heart in your hand. And you're like, oh, crap, what do I think of this? You know what I mean? Cliche was.
I think which was your main influence musically for the song? I think.
Well, as I say, I love Enya and Jeremy Soule, who wrote the Skyrim theme. That was who I had inspiration from the classical perspective. But from the heavy metal perspective, I didn't really have any anything in mind. It's just drawn on I take bits of everything, you know what I mean, and just jumble it all together. There's piano in there, there's harp, there's guitar, there's strings, there's all kinds of stuff going on there. Masonic imagery in the magic.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
True. That's completely true. But because he was part of that, so there's a lot of that going on. Like the whole opera is all of and then also I have to say why it's a little bit not that female friendly because it's not that female friendly. So the bad guy is the woman. Oh
wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's actually that's true. So women aren't allowed in the Masonic circle. So yeah, it's still something that's yeah, it hasn't changed actually. So there's still kind of um, group or
I drive Metallica when they. Oh wow, that's interesting.
oh
Uh,
cool.
One
That's
question
cool.
I'd like to ask you guys is: do you want me and Regalia to do another song?
Oh
How many
yeah,
people say? How many people say no?
yeah, you have to say yay or no, or you say nothing, and then we will say okay, that was no. I became a fan of their music. Yeah, well, they're absolutely awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
Dingo Dog Records. I know he's following me. Yes.
Okay, good.
Someone else has just joined.
Okay, I don't know if there's any more questions, but oh, just oh yes, Carmen. Linda. Okay, later. So just to maybe wrap it up, we please listen to our song in Spotify. Give it a big heart and add it to your playlist so you can hopefully listen to it again, and hopefully it will then more people and more people will listen to it. And if you're able to, then also please share it, show it to other people who might like it. We don't know everyone who could maybe like it. So if you're able to and know someone who would like it, then we would really be honored and grateful if you would share it. It would mean a lot and it will help a lot. I think we're both quite proud of what we've done, and we would love it to be heard by as many people as possible.
Absolutely, and it is sometimes a fluke when sometimes you don't know the scale of what you've done until it's done, and then you sometimes have to pinch yourself and go, "Man, did that just happen?" It's not every day that you can. It's easy to find people to collaborate with, but it's even more difficult to find that synergy. To find, something's worked somewhere along the lines for this, to happen, and very thankful. I mean, Regalia is immensely talented on so many different levels. Not only is she a harpist, she's an incredible vocalist. She's got sound music theory. She's, that's one of the reasons why we get on so well, because we both have that have music. So we have that to draw on, and our passion for music definitely shows. So.
I think you're absolutely right, and it was absolute joy to work with you, and it was really great. I think this just wouldn't have been possible in any type for me, just even to think about to release a song without you. So that was a huge opportunity for me, and I'm very grateful, and I'm absolutely blown away. But what you did with the song, I think it's amazing what you do, so thank you so much, and hopefully too many more. Cheers.
Absolutely. My strong bow. I should have got some German beer, but I don't know any German beer.
You really should have. Well, I don't have beer here either, but it would be a very nice gesture. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you guys want to ask any more questions before we wrap it up?
I think it's all. Thank you so much. Congratulations. That's very nice. I think we can actually wrap it up. So thank you so much for joining and for watching, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Cheers.